Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is your
What do you mean,
photo news fix. This fix is brought to you by Squarespace. I personally use Squarespace for my online portfolio at jaredpolin.com because it's simple, affordable, and you don't need to know any coding. Honestly, with being locked down, now would be a pretty good time to build or redo your website. Head on over to squarespace.com/FroKnowsPhoto to get your 14-day free trial. If you decide that it's for you, use the code FroKnowsPhoto at checkout to get 10% off your first order. First up, Fuji wants to give you $3,000 worth of free camera gear if you're a student in the United States in their initiative called Students of Storytelling Initiative. Fuji says a total of 30 contest winners will be selected from story submissions received based on judges' criteria outlined in the rules. Each winner will receive up to $3,000 of Fujifilm X series or GFX system products. That's great! Yes! Because for that money, you can score yourself a GFX battery or something, being that all of those cameras are $4,500 to $10,000. Son of a... If you're a college student in the US, I see no reason why you shouldn't at least try to submit an idea for your chance to win. Unless you're a resident of Florida, that is. That's right, for some reason, if you're a resident of the Sunshine State, you're screwed and you cannot win, so don't even try.
I'm not what they call Florida white trash!
Keep in mind, whatever idea you decide to submit must adhere to proper social distancing and other CDC protocols. That shouldn't be too hard since most people won't want to hang out with a Fuji shooter anyway.
Oh, sick burn.
Ooh! I can see the comments now. Don't get angry at me. I didn't write that line.
Yes, you did.
That's right, I did. And I stand behind it 100%. Next up, have you ever wondered what camera gear ex-White House photographer Pete Souza used to photograph the president? Pete shared an 11.5-minute video explaining what cameras and lenses he used, along with sharing images taken with those lenses. He actually starts off the video holding screwdrivers to make a point that it's what you do with the tool, not which brand of tool that you use. Now, I do recommend you take a few minutes to check out the video, but in the meantime, let me distill it down for you. At the beginning of his term, he was using the Canon 5D Mark II, and by the end, he had the Mark IIIs. Pete liked to have a camera on each shoulder, one with a 35-1.4 and the other with what looked to be a 50-1.2. He also had a belt pouch with a 135 when he needed something longer. And when the newest version of the 24-70 2.8 came out from Canon, he added that into the mix as well. When I was out photographing Bernie, I ended up shrinking my kit down to the A7R4 Sigma 35-1.2, Sigma 14-24 2.8, Sigma 24-70 2.8, and the Sony 135 1.8. With all the running and gunning you're doing, you need to keep the kit light and small. Now, if you're not following Pete on Instagram just yet, you might want to head over there because he's been doing a lot of videos showcasing a lot of different images that he captured at the time that he was the White House photographer. Tamron has officially announced the launch of the long-awaited 70 to 180mm f2.8 telephoto lens for Sony full-frame mirrorless cameras. The 70 to 180 features a compact and lightweight design with a 67mm filter diameter, which is the same as the 17 to 28 2.8 and 28 to 75 2.8. Now, for some reason, Tamron thinks keeping the same filter diameter actually matters, but personally, I don't give a shit.
Tell him, Steve Dave.
Nonetheless, one of the ways Tamron was able to keep this lens so compact was hire a moil to chop off 20mm from the tip. Now, if they asked me, I would have chopped 20mm off from the closest end to the camera and made it a 90 to 200mm 2.8. But they didn't ask me, so this is what we got. These days, I tend to leave the 70 to 200 2.8s at home due to the size and weight, so maybe something smaller like this might find a place into my bag and give me a little bit of extra reach when I need it over my 135. The lens is supposed to be available on May 14th, which of course is subject to change, for the price of $1,199, which is $1,400 cheaper than Sony's 70 to 200 2.8 G Master. Now, for the price, this might be a great option for many Sony shooters. users. As soon as I get my test unit in the mail, I will figure out how to test it out while we're on lockdown. Will you be ordering one? And finally, to round out this week's fix, we have 2 rumors from Canon Rumors. The first is that an RF mount cinema style camera is in the works. This does make a lot of sense. Why would they continue to push EF mount cinema cameras when they can take advantage of the fantastic RF glass and EF users can still use an adapter? Canon Rumors claims this might replace the C100 Mark II and possibly take on a similar form factor to the XC series of cameras. I'd love to see an XC style full frame cinema camera that takes RF glass. Then again, the R5 sounds like a better, more well-rounded option when that thing comes out. And the last part of the rumor is that supposedly the official announcement of the R5 and R6 are still on track for sometime in the next 2 months. Now, they might be able to announce the new cameras, but when will they be able to ship those cameras? Plus, most of us are on lockdown anyway. How are we going to be able to take advantage of that 8K video? Oh, that's right. I've got an idea.
Do you like Phil Collins?
That's right. And there you have it. That's your photo news fix this time around. To check out the last fix, go ahead and click on the screen right here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And that's where I'm going to leave it. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.